Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast.
Hello?
1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
Thanks, Scott.
Can't believe y'all interrupted my mans like that.
I heard someone initially start mocking Scott, and I started laughing.
All right, well, welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. This is our 50th episode this season. We continue to try and bring you more content year after year. We did miss a recap last week, but I am now done school and back ready to help you all win a championship with the boys. We got a full squad here for the first time in what feels like probably a month. I know we've all been busy over the past month or so, but it feels good for everyone to be back. Today we'll be breaking down all of week 14. Sticking to the usual stuff for the most part, some calmer chaos, trust or bust, going through our waiver targets, and finishing up with some trivia with Q as always. So good old trivia. And we'll also answer any questions you have in the chat, so feel free to drop them throughout the episode. Let's get right into it. Let's do some calm or chaos, starting at the quarterback position with Derek Carr. 2.58 points. 11 of 20 passing for 137 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. This is his first dud since week 8. 5 weeks before this, he had 20-plus points. Is he still trustworthy for the playoffs? Calm or chaos? What are we thinking?
Chaos.
Gross. I'm going chaos because
He plays the Pats next week.
Pats, Steelers, and then he gets the Niners.
Bad.
Playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely agree. Chaos for Derek Carr. Probably weren't relying upon him, but if you were, I would try to find another option. Someone you might still be trying to hold out hope for would be Tom Brady. 12.12 points, 34 of 55. This man threw 55 passes only for 253 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Are you trusting the old man in the fantasy playoffs?
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
I have been trusting him since like week 6, bro.
I started Jared Goff over him, and it paid off.
Man.
And I'll probably do it again.
After round 1 of the playoffs, his matchups aren't too bad, Arizona and Carolina, but he's stunk. So it doesn't even matter.
Could have had a nice touchdown if the offensive line didn't hold.
Oh, my God, bro. Like Evan's scheme.
Can't trust Tom right now at all. If you're still relying upon him, please look for something else. You might be stuck with him, but it's really hard to trust him. Some of his weapons have suffered from this as well. It's been tough for the Bucs this entire season, yet somehow this team is most likely going to be in the playoffs. Mind-blowing stuff. Let's move on to the running back position. Michael Carter for the Jets only had 3 points this week, 5 carries for 5 yards, and caught 3 of 6 targets for 15 yards, but did lose a fumble. He had 50% of the snaps, but he has not cracked 6 points since week 9. Calm or chaos?
Chaos.
Opposite chaos.
That's Zonovan Knight's backfield now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I would completely agree. It's really tough to trust Michael Carter. Honestly, he's still involved and he's still getting like 50% of the snaps, like I mentioned, but Zonovan Knight just looks way more productive.
Yeah.
So
He didn't touch the production that Zonovan had.
yeah, and the fumble obviously hurts his case too. Even with James Robinson being a non-factor, I would avoid Michael Carter if you were trying to rely on him. Someone you may have been heavily relying upon, Travis Etienne, 3.2 points, 17 carries, 32 yards, and no targets on 75% of the snaps in this blowout win. Calm or chaos?
This is 3 straight weeks of him sucking.
Chaos.
Chaos for me. Come on, Matt.
I'm leaning
Come on, Matt.
chaos. I'm definitely leaning chaos.
Are you starting them?
It's really hard to
Depends what my options are.
Yeah, we'll definitely discuss more about who you would start over ETN for the playoffs on our Wednesday's episode. But Dallas obviously has been a pretty decent defense, and ETN has been struggling. So
Definitely not starting him against
the
Dallas.
volume's still there, so like he could break through. Obviously, could fall face first into the end zone. Anything could happen, but I'm leaning towards chaos as well. It's really tough to trust him right now until we see it again with him putting up some numbers.
Or he could fall feet first like Dawson Knox did when he flipped into the end zone.
True. Definitely could. That was wild. Let's move on to the Lions backfield. Jamal Williams, 3.7 points. He had 16 carries for only 37 yards and did not catch his only target. His snap share has also decreased the last 3 weeks down to about 36% of the snaps played in each game. And DeAndre Swift only had 6.9 points, 6 carries for 21 yards, caught 3 or 4 targets for 18 yards. His snap share looked like it was going back up 51% last week, dropped back down to 36% this week.
Of course.
Calm or chaos for either of these guys? Are you starting any Lions running back at this point? What's the deal?
It's tough.
Ugly all around. I'd still rather start Jamal.
Bro, he has the better chance of scoring. And who's that other running back that they keep using?
Keep using
Justin
Justin
Jackson.
Jackson coming out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
Justin
This man
Jackson.
he had the best day of them this week. Only played 29% of the snaps, which definitely takes away the 50-50 timeshare we had seen in the past. Still 4 carries, 19 yards, found the end zone, and caught his only target for 12 yards. So,
Killing me, Justin.
yeah, it's really tough for me to trust anyone here. If I'm forced to start someone, I'm probably leaning towards Swift right now.
Bogus.
Personally, he had 10 points in each of the last 3 weeks before this. He has a safer floor in terms of passing, and I don't think the Lions are going to be up in as many games as they were in this game. Whereas Jamal, obviously, touchdowns have been coming, but outside of that, he's been very inefficient running the ball. I don't think he's averaged more than 4 yards per carry in any game over the last 6 weeks.
God.
And he averaged 2.6 in this game. Bad. Or 2.3, even worse. So, as a whole, I'd rather avoid this backfield
Avoid
if you can, but you might not be able to, like me. So, Saquon Barkley, 6.8 points, 9 carries for 28 yards, caught both of his targets for 20 yards, but he did only play 31% of the snaps due to the injury in the blowout. Is this calm or chaos? Are you nervous about the injury?
staying calm. When he's healthy, that offense is going to flow through him. I mean, Eagles defense ain't going to let up nothing easy, especially to the running backs. So, I mean, you can't blame him. They were getting blown out. They weren't willing to risk that injury getting worse, so might as well hold him out. Can't put it all on Saquon.
He shouldn't have even played. There was no reason for him to play.
I mean, big game, big divisional game. I'm sure they wanted to have him out there, but with the neck injury, as soon as the score went up, I'm not shocked he did not play many more snaps after that. So we'll see if he can get back healthy for this game against the Commanders again. He did play well against them last time. Last running back here, Nick Chubb, 8.4 points, 14 carries for 34 yards, caught 3 of his targets for 20 yards, but he now has fewer than 10 points in 3 of the last 4 games, and his yards per carry have dropped as well to 3.5 yards per carry over the last 4 as well. So, calm or chaos for Chubb heading into the playoffs.
Bring back Brissett.
Seriously, chaos. And I blame it on D-Watt.
Yep.
They were
D-Watt is
down
not
like
him.
20-3.
Well, if
Still
you have a
blaming
good
D-Watt.
quarterback keeping you in the game, you can rely on those elite running backs that you have. And D-Watt just looks like a fucking traffic cone back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, bud. Yeah. It has not looked pretty. I think I'm still rolling Chubb out there.
Easily.
has to.
What?
If he scores, obviously, a touchdown in any of these games, it turns from 8
And he
points
could
to
easily
14
break
points.
one.
Obviously, some maybe not the best matchups with Baltimore and the Saints coming up, but he's going to be involved no matter what. You're starting Chubb. You can't bench him. But it is a little bit chaotic. It's a little bit nerve-wracking.
It's
You need
scary.
more points heading into the fantasy playoffs. So if you're splitting hairs with someone, you somehow got lucky and had another elite running back fall into your lap, I wouldn't
Miles
be mad
Sanders.
if you decided to move on.
Run, booby, run!
Bench him in one of these games. Yes, Miles Sanders, elite.
Feed that man.
All right, wide receivers. Not too many struggled this week, but let's start with the one that we know. DJ Moore, 0.6 points.
Chaos.
Caught 0 passes
Chaos.
on 3 targets, 1 carry for 6 yards. Also injured his knee. I think it's safe to say chaos.
Me and Q thought it was a bright idea to start him with our season on the line.
I won't say
Absolutely.
fuck him though because I guess he got hurt. But if he was healthy,
Fuck him.
I need
mean,
about
he
5 minutes.
played
To talk
Still
about him.
started
96%
96% of the snaps.
But he may have
Still-
been trying to just play through that injury because obviously something was bothering him if he's getting an MRI on his knee after the game.
He's bothering me.
He is bothering me.
bad.
Bothered me this year as well. He's made me look like an idiot for backing him up all this time. Hopefully he gets a quarterback because honestly, the Panthers still winning games, even with the carousel they've had a quarterback. They still are 1 game out of the playoffs, I think. Big game against the Bucks coming up.
Jesus. Watch them win that game, too. The Bucks are fucking ass.
Bucks suck. All right, Jalen Waddle, 5.1 points, caught 2 of 4 targets for 31 yards, and he's been averaging only 7.7 points over his last 4 games. He is still wide receiver 11 on the season, but calm or chaos.
Tua
Getting
stinks.
a bit chaotic.
Tua
It's
stinks.
a little bit scary.
7
But it's Jalen
points.
Waddle. You can't bench him.
No, you're definitely not benching him, but I'm definitely not happy.
I'm tempering expectations. His
Mhm.
projections are probably still going to be at like 16, 17. I'd be expecting like 13, 14.
At Buffalo next week,
Yeah, it's
that's scary
boogies.
hours.
But defense could be focusing on Tyree because he's been an absolute menace. So maybe Waddle gets a couple openings so where he can actually be productive like we've
I'm
seen
starting to
earlier
like
in the year.
Devontae Smith more than Waddle.
I love me some
Smitty
Smitty.
elite.
No bias intended because the stats are there.
I mean, as someone who's owned both of them as my wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 all season long, can agree Smitty has been obviously putting up more consistent numbers as the number 2 in elite offense. He hasn't surpassed him on the season yet because obviously Waddle had some huge 40-point games early on.
And Devontae had that fluky ass dud week 1.
Fluky, that was wild.
I could have had him for Mooney.
Oh,
you could've. Well, actually,
dude.
I never agreed, but I was strongly considering.
You offered.
I did, but then I was like, never mind.
damn it.
Smitty was on the block for a while. I was nervous.
Sorry, I'm dying.
All right.
I could have had
next
Amari
one.
Cooper for him too. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
Go on.
Mike Evans, 8.4 points, 4 catches on 9 targets for 44 yards. He now has 10.4 or fewer fantasy points over his last 5 games. Calm or chaos?
Chaos on
It is
Brady.
chaos.
Chaos on Mike Evans.
Chaos.
It
I
trickles
drafted
down the
Brady,
lane.
Mike Evans as my stack.
What a stack.
That's
What
a
a stack.
stunk.
Bad
What a
stack.
stack.
Bad.
It is a stunk, Q. I like
Is he
that.
going to get his 1,000 yards? He's at 800.
He might.
He might.
There's
They
still
might
enough
try to
time.
force feed him the last 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And
I'm
he's
sure he
lucky
has
to
an incentive in his
17-game season
contract
now.
that Brady's gonna fucking just.
If it's a
feed him.
16-game season, I don't think he's getting to 1,000 yards. But that extra game, he might get like 1,008 again.
What a
Like he
better
has in the
time.
past.
No better time. Drop 100-yard games in the playoffs for those who have 'em.
Please.
For the
Yeah,
one
we'll see.
time.
I definitely am still trusting Godwin, but yes, it's chaos for Mike Evans. Tight end, Foster Moreau, big old bagel, 0
Fuck the
catches
Raiders.
on 1 target.
Chaos.
It's chaos. I mean, it's
Chaos.
tight ends, so like
It's
it's,
been
obviously hit or
chaos.
miss, but Derek Carr threw 20 passes in that game and completed 11 of them. I don't think Moreau had much of a chance. Brutal game all around. Devontae Adams had 10. Matt Collins had like 7.
Nothing in the second half. Like, imagine having the best receiver in the league and you don't throw it to him after he cooked the corner every time he caught the ball. Fuck the Raiders. They deserve to lose that game.
Josh
with Baker.
McDaniels, terrible coach. Sorry.
Yeah.
Had to get out there.
Raiders suck.
Raiders stink. Tyler Higbee, 3.1
Sucks.
points, 2 for 3 for 11 yards. He now has 8.5 or fewer points in 7 of the last 8, and 6 of those 3.5 or fewer.
Yep.
I think,
Chaos.
Okay,
Can't start him.
Numbers
Can't
speak
start
for
'em.
themselves.
yeah. Honestly, without Stafford coming back, Higbee is definitely the best
Irrelevant.
left on your bench, if not waivers. Tough way to end the year for someone who started off hot. Mark Andrews, 3.7 points, 2 catches on 6 targets for 17 yards. He's averaging 7.3 fantasy points over his last 5 healthy games. Calm or chaos for former tight end 1 last year.
Chaos.
Chaos. Nothing else
About
to
to be on
say.
their like 4th string quarterback.
Tyler Huntley didn't look like Lamar 2.0 out there.
Yep.
He's not. He never was. Anyone who thought that was nuts.
No, he at one
I
point
never
he
Thought
looked like
it.
Yeah, he looked good running the ball. He was never Lamar. Lamar can
I
actually.
thought
throw.
it. I thought it.
I did think it was
Either
You
way.
guys convinced me, so blame him.
Sorry.
Mark Andrews
Just a big
has been
liar.
struggling. It's chaos, but you're starting him. Tight ends suck. You're not going to pick up a tight end and say, you know what? Let me bench Mark Andrews. Even Mark Andrews with a backup quarterback, I'm still starting because tight ends suck. But we'll get into that later as Matt points a finger. Before we do trust or bust and get a little bit more positive, let's do today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, the easiest way to play fantasy football. You can get started now with their Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football melee, $60,000 in prizes. Check it out. And when you sign up, use our promo code SUPERFB for a 100% deposit match up to $100. So you deposit 100, you get another 100 matched free. Your fantasy season may be over as we're heading into the playoffs, but you can still have some fun. So use that promo code SUPERFB, SUPERFB, and you can play on the Underdog Fantasy app for iOS and Android, or sign up online at underdogfantasy.com. Check it out.
Check it out.
Let's do trust or bust. Let's get a little bit more positive. Starting at the quarterback position, Trevor Lawrence, 39.42 points, 30 for 42 passing, 368 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Also added a rushing touchdown with 7 yards rushing. Trust or bust heading into the playoffs. Is Trevor Lawrence someone that could carry you to a fantasy chase?
Could, sure.
He gets Dallas, the Jets, and then Houston.
Houston's pretty good too. So those are all really tough.
But
It's tough. I'm probably starting him against Dallas. They've shown a little bit of cracks recently. It depends on your options,
and
obviously.
the Jags got weapons. Don't sleep.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is QB 8 on the season, shockingly. He's been putting up some pretty decent numbers. Dallas is somewhere where it depends on your matchups, but I'm not against starting him if you had to. We'll get more into that, obviously, next week. But I think I'm trusting Trevor Lawrence.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It really depends on your options, though, as always.
Yeah.
Russell
not so
Wilson, 33.58 points, 23-36, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Go
Carried the ball
next.
4 times for 57 yards.
Go next.
This dude's got a knot on his head. I can't
the way
trust
that
him.
yesterday turned out for him. Like that's what you wanted all season. Like the defense is good, but like if they had to play from behind, you wanted them to be putting numbers up. And he had opportunities like that all season and would stink.
Yep.
There's no way you could trust him.
Yep.
Especially he's probably concussed now.
Yeah, he's
Definitely.
concussed.
It could have fixed him, honestly.
He's in the protocol. I'm not trusting Russell Wilson. There's a stat that said the Broncos, if they score just 18 points every week throughout the season, they would be 10-3 now.
That's awful.
If they were the
Imagine not scoring
28th
18
best offense, I think they'd still have 8 wins. Like, it's crazy how bad they are. They're the worst offense in the league. This is more of an outlier, in my opinion. I don't trust Russell Wilson at all.
Hell no.
No, thank you.
Jared Goff, though, 32.1 points, 27 of 39, 330 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Trust or bust for Jared Goff.
Trust. He's been juicy.
He's got J-Mo back too. He looked good. That Lions offense looks exciting, aside from the headache they have in the backfield.
Yeah, but honestly, the backfield in terms of like Jared Goff, it really doesn't affect him. They're going to rotate those guys in. They all are relatively efficient, and they all can catch passes. So it makes it easier on Goff. He also has all of his weapons healthy now for the first time. So I'm definitely trusting Goff. 21 plus points in each of the last 3 weeks, continuing to improve. 300 plus passing yards in the last 2 games. Obviously, he's been up and down. A stinker wouldn't shock me, and at the Jets isn't ideal.
No.
But you never know. You never know.
You never know.
Might be stuck starting Goff.
I think I am. It's him or Brady.
Off in the chip.
Does anyone know who Brady plays next week?
I was looking at it earlier.
the
They're playing Cincinnati
someone else.
Bengals.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brady.
Yeah, they might.
He's going to have to
throw
keep up.
Yeah, it'll be
Or
close.
just get sacked.
We shall see.
Hopefully not sacked.
All right, last quarterback here, Brock Purdy, 25.7 points, 16 of 21 for 185 yards, 2 tutties, added a rushing tutty. Obviously got a bit banged up, but if healthy, trust or bust heading into the playoffs.
Bust. I'm not trusting
No Debo, I'm not
Mr. Irrelevant.
I can't trust him right now.
Not trusting.
Especially not in the playoffs.
No, I'm not trusting either. If you're desperate in like a deep league, I pick him up and throw him on my bench, but I'm not starting him, especially coming off an injury. No. This offense is dynamic. He can dump it off to anybody and they can go for 30, 40, 50 yards, whatever. But still, no. Hard pass. Don't fall for the juice.
Okay.
Running backs, Jerick McKinnon may have single-handedly put me to bed this week. 34.4 points, 6 carries for 22 yards, his typical rushing day, but 7 catches on 9 targets for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns, and quietly 10-plus points in 4 of his last 6. Trust or bust?
I
Low
think
key trust.
I'm trusting.
you can trust him and Pacheco.
Yeah.
Would agree.
I have a question.
but
Yes,
McKinnon or AJ Dillon?
McKinnon.
McKinnon.
It's close.
AJ Dillon
it
has
in.
been better. It is AJ Dillon's season, but McKinnon, he's been solid.
All right.
I like McKinnon. Obviously, recency bias with this huge performance, but in general, he's been involved. And although next week at Houston, they're really not going to have to throw, so that scares me a little bit. But other than that, we'll see. Either way, McKinnon, I'm trusting.
Me too.
Especially in games where they're going to have to throw. But you can't predict it. I didn't think they would have to throw at Denver, so. All right. Chuba Hubbard, 18.9 points, 14 carries, 74 yards, and a score. Caught all 3 of his targets for 25 yards on only 32% of the snaps. Trust or bust for Chuba.
Can't
Bust
trust
down,
Definitely
Tatiana.
can't trust.
Yeah,
Can't
no.
trust.
Can't trust if you're
That
desperate.
performance still had 21 carries.
Yeah, if you're desperate, I would throw him on my bench, but that's about it at most. I'm not starting him. Bust.
Definitely add him at least.
Add, not start, please. J.K. Dobbins, 18 points, 15 carries for 120 yards and a score. Trust or bust.
If only I
funny.
could have this all season. Trust. I'm trusting JK. When he's healthy, he's shown it earlier in the year. He had a great game against the Bills. I mean, this offense is going to have to rely on the running backs. Obviously, we saw Tyler Huntley struggle. And honestly, that offense has been struggling, especially with the receivers all year. So JK being back is a huge plus for them.
Yep. Completely agree there. I'm trusting J.K. Dobbins as a plug-and-play RB. If you held him on your bench for this long, hopefully he pays off in the fantasy playoffs.
I wish he could.
Marlon Mack, 15.7 points. How does this affect Marlon
This
Mack's
is a
legacy? 3 carries for 15 yards, caught 2 of 3 targets for 62 yards and a touchdown. Actually lost yards on that second catch because he had a 66-yard touchdown reception. Trust or bust?
Come on.
Bust,
It was
bro.
bust,
Come on.
bro.
Come
Come
on with
on.
this one.
Bust, I ain't even scooping.
In no
Just
world
making
is
sure.
anyone
We got to
starting
make
Marlon Mack.
sure people know not to scoop Marlon Mack.
Even in the 32-man league, I'm not scooping Marlon Mack.
All right, I'm
All
scooping.
right,
in the
all
32-man league.
I'm
I'm
scooping.
scooping into 32.
No way. How many? Like how
Stop. 32?
involved has he
Bro,
been?
32
though?
men.
That's
That's a
64
lot of
running backs
fucking
that are
players.
starting. You think there's 64 running backs better than Marlon Mack?
Well, you don't know how their lineup
No.
is set.
If there's 2 running backs
There's at
in that
least 2
league,
running
I'm
backs.
100% rostering at least Marlon
You
Mack.
could
if not
probably
starting.
get Rex Burkhead at better.
I'd
spot
rather
than
have
him.
Marlon Mack.
Rex Burkhead also stinks.
Okay.
Zonovan Knight, the truth, 15.7 points, 17 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. Caught both of his targets as well for 6 yards. This is now 3 straight games of 13 plus fantasy points since he came out of fucking nowhere. Trust or bust?
I think he's the most trustworthy
Trust.
on this list.
Trust.
Definitely. He's
Would agree.
juicy.
Very.
I am trusting him for the fantasy playoffs. He gets the Lions, the Jags, and the Seahawks for the playoffs. The Jets will definitely be involved in some of these games. I don't think they're going to get blown out. So Zonovan, they're going to rely on him. I'd start him. Trust
I
him.
was so happy I got him in Dynasty because my team sucks.
Yeah, that's a good scoop. I should have scooped in a couple of leagues, and I didn't even think about it.
Idiot.
I did scoop him in, I think it was our main league, which didn't even matter, or somewhere. I scooped him somewhere.
No,
Doesn't matter.
K-Harp scooped.
I scooped him somewhere else. Whatever. Either way, let's move on to wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy, 33.3 points, caught 89 targets for 73 yards and 3 scores.
Hat trick.
Trust or bust?
Bust.
Bust.
Especially
No
if
Russ?
Russ is out. Yeah.
Who's the quarterback now?
Brock
Birds.
Osweiler.
Brett
Bring back
Stidham.
Drew Lock.
Stidham, I think.
Brett Rippin, I think.
That's
Rip.
what it is.
Came in. Either way, no matter who's
Having
starting,
the Teddy Two Gloves.
I'm a little scared starting Judy because of that.
Miami.
Bridgewater? Yeah, he left.
Oh, yeah,
right?
he's in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we not going to talk about my boy Ty?
T.Y.
Yeah,
Hilton?
he's on the Cowboys. now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ew,
God. I
what
did not see that.
They're
That's
desperate.
gross. Yeah,
That's
They almost
great.
lost to the Texans. They said, we need help from
They'll take
We
anybody.
that
need
over
Ty. We
OBJ.
need Eugene.
Hey,
Eugene
T.Y.
Marquise.
If you're a big TY stan like T-Gods, scoop him up, throw him on your bench.
Oh my God, now he definitely loves the star.
Yeah, he does. He's gonna buy a TY Dallas jersey.
I'm getting him a TY
Stop,
Dallas
dude.
jersey.
No.
It's like, no, never. All right. Chris Moore. Anyone know what team he plays for?
The Texans.
Texans,
Come on,
Doug.
man.
Come on.
Just making sure he's any bowl. 22.4 points, 10 of 11 for 124 yards. I'm still leaning towards bust.
You said
Easily bust.
he's any bowl.
You
Easily
trust
next.
if Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins are going to be out. I'm trusting. He looks like Will Fuller out there because he's also number 15.
He stinks. This passing offense stinks. The Texans stink.
Stinks.
Bust all over this offense.
If he's the only one, I'll trust.
I'm
They're playing
taking
the
over
Chiefs next
I'm
week.
still not trusting.
I'll trust if he's the only one.
They'll throw to Brevin Jordan randomly, and he'll catch 2
He'll
touchdowns.
just throw pick sixes, not even throw it to the offense.
Jordan Akins.
Yeah, they'll get blown out. All right. Zay Jones, 21.7 points. This man will not go away. 8 catches on 12 targets for 77 yards and a touchdown. If you picked him up after the big performance and started him, he stunk, and you probably benched him, and he blew up again. Very frustrating. Trust or bust heading into the fantasy playoffs.
It's hard to This is like the Jags offense all year. It's like they'll have a good week, and then right after, shit, and then you don't trust them, they go off again.
This man is quietly wide receiver 27.
He had a couple drops though,
Yeah.
like right in his hands, and he just dropped it. It's gonna be a bust. It's gonna be a bust for me.
Bust for me, too.
I like him.
He's
I
only
do like
no
him.
for me,
I
dog.
behind Mike Evans.
trusting in the playoffs. It's,
Yeah, desperate flex in the playoffs if you're projected to
Fox
lose
said
by a
bust
ton
too, so that's a bust.
and you want a boomer bust flex, Zay Jones is your guy. Another boomer bust flex, DJ Chark, 21.4 points, 6 of 7 for 94 yards and a touchdown. But quietly, in 5 games this season where he's played at least 70% of the snaps, he's averaging 13.72 fantasy points. Trust or bust.
Trust.
Trusting.
I'll say it.
Yeah, I'll trust.
He looks good when he's out there. As
He
long as he's
does.
healthy, he looks pretty good.
Chark be catching bombs.
In those same games, he's had at least 5 targets in every single one with 70% of the snaps. Last 3 weeks, he's had at least 9.6. It's been climbing up each week. He's getting more and more involved. Obviously, the Jets is not a favorable matchup, but if you're desperate, I trust him as a flex. That's about it.
Trust. Boomer bust flex. I'll take the chance.
Yep, would agree there. Marquise Goodwin, 20.3 points, 5-6 for 95 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I'm cool on
Came out
that.
of the woodwork. Eagles legend Marquise Goodwin.
Big bust for me as well. Hard pass on Marquise Goodwin. I'd rather start anybody else probably.
They still have DK and Lockett.
Yeah, unless Lockett or DK get banged up, Goodwin is best left on waivers.
Yes.
Last one, Richie James, 19.1 points, caught 7 of 9 targets for 61 yards and a touchdown. 3 of the last 4 games, he's got 13 points, but he is dealing with a concussion. If he's able to go, is he someone you're trusting the rest of the way?
Fuck no.
No.
He has looked good, but I'm not trusting.
Yeah, I agree. Not trusting any Giants pass catcher with Danny Dimes at the helm. They want to run the ball, and that's pretty much it.
You didn't mention Hodges. I don't even
Merrill
know his
Hodges.
Who is that his name?
No, isn't it Merrill Hodge?
Who is Merrill Hodge? That sounds familiar too. That
It's
means
like
to be some banking thing.
Merrill
Investment
Hodge.
firm.
You guys are making up names.
Merrill
No,
Hodge.
dude, it's like a baseball ball, I feel like.
No way Merrill Hodge is even a real anything.
He has to be.
You're talking about Isaiah Hodgins.
No.
That's who I was
Thinking of
talking
Merrill
about.
Hodge.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
Merrill Hodge is a former football player. But I doubt you know who he is.
I know the name.
1994.
Oh my God, you weren't even alive yet.
And it's actually spelled
He's
Hogg. I
the
don't
guy
know
from NFL Network
Oh, yeah. So I know him.
or ESPN.
That's
He was
my
on
boy.
ESPN,
Merrill's my boy.
and he
Yeah,
was
I
laid
don't
off
know.
in 2017.
Oh,
Why we
Oh,
dragging
that
this
bull.
random man?
Yeah, that dude looks familiar.
Yeah, if you look up his picture, you might know who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm about to look. How do you spell it?
Merrill, Merril,
He
space
overcame
Hodge,
career-ending
Hodge.
head trauma, depression, cancer, open heart surgery. Like, what the fuck? This dude's Jesus.
This is great podcasting for anyone
Immortal.
listening, just to the
Immortal.
audio. Merrill
Oh,
Hodge,
yeah.
baby.
I know that guy.
Get him on the pod.
Isaiah Hodgins, also bust for me.
Easy bust.
Easy bust.
Merrill Hodge is a dog.
Oh,
All right,
He's got that
let's move
dog in
on
him.
to some tight ends before we do our waiver targets. Starting with Evan Engram, 39.2 points,
Game of a
11
lifetime.
catches, 15 targets, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His best career game. Trust or bust?
went nuclear. Trust.
Might as well trust. Tight ends
Yeah.
suck.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, if you don't have Travis Kelce and Evan Engram is somehow sitting out there on waivers or something, scoop him up and you're starting in this week. I don't care.
Over
Scooby-Doo.
Mark Andrews.
No,
No.
I'm still starting Mark
Fuck
Andrews, even with a backup quarterback.
He's
But
playing Dallas.
majority of tight ends, I would consider Evan Engram for sure, especially after that performance. David Njoku, 18.7 points, 7 catches on 9 targets, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
Is he back?
Trust or
I
bust?
think he's back. I'm trusting.
I think I'm
When he
trusting as
was
well.
healthy early in the season, he was just eating. So,
Yeah.
and now he's healthy again, has 18.7. Gotta trust him.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Honestly, throughout the season, he's quietly been
Tight end
good.
7.
Tight end 7 on the season.
I can't
I
wait
agree.
for Connor
Trust
to
him.
announce this next tight end.
I'm trying to look it up right now. I mean, it's Okonkwo. I know how to say the last name. First name, I'm just not even going to try.
Chigozim.
On Twitter, he said just call him Chig Okonkwo. So I'm going to rock
Chig
with that.
Big.
Sig.
All right.
18.5 points. Caught all 6 of his targets for 45 yards and a touchdown. Trust or bust?
Trust.
Bust.
Whoa. This is
Bust.
my boy. I am trusting my boy Okonkwo
Why is he your boy?
because I picked him up.
Because
All
all his
right.
other boys failed.
He was nice against the Birds. He had another good week this week. I mean, he's on the up and up the way the tight ends look right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to find consistency, so why not?
Yeah, I'm trusting. I'll talk about him in a bit.
You're biased.
Dawson Knox. I can only be biased from just picking him up for 1 week. Not like week 4. I was like, pick up Okonkwo.
Over the top to Uncle Paul. Wow.
What the
Go
hell?
on.
Dawson Knox, 14.1 points, 4 catches on 7 targets for 41 yards and a touchdown.
A
Trust
flipping
or
touchdown.
bust?
Bust. The
Bust.
week before, he had 1 target for 0 catches. There's no shot. Like, no.
Can't trust Dawson.
Not trusting Dawson Knox. He is so hit or miss.
He's
If you
the
want to
new
risk
Bob
it, go
Onion.
for it. But no, avoiding if I can. For sure. Let's do some waiver targets. Matt, who are you scooping heading into the playoffs?
Van Jefferson. Not the best, but surprisingly enough, it looked like the Rams offense had a little bit of a spark with Baker Mayfield at quarterback. He did catch the game-winning touchdown against the Raiders on Thursday night with only 10 seconds left. We know that this receiving core is riddled with injuries with Cooper Kupp, A-Rob, both out. He only had 4 targets, caught 2 balls, one of them being that touchdown, but Baker must trust him if he went to him on the most important play of the game. So, and this defense is also banged up, so the Rams are probably going to have to be throwing to try and stay in these games. So it's either a toss-up between him and who T-Gods is about to talk about for the wide receiver 1 role. So why not give him a shot?
I like it. I scooped him in a lot of leagues right when some of the injuries started piling up. He's been a bit mid, but he could see some upswing after that, especially after that touchdown. Impressive. T-Gods.
This is my boy.
First, I just want to talk about hating Baker even more now because I had a parlay and everything hit except for who'd they play?
The Raiders.
The Raiders money line.
Raiders
Baker really
won that game. I blame the Raiders more. They stink.
Dude,
Yeah, they fucked
the
them.
worst fucking quarterback in the league drives down the field with under 2 minutes, no timeouts. Like
98
I
yards.
easily jinxed it. Baker threw like a couple good passes early, and I was like, Maria, if Baker somehow wins this game, I'll lose my mind. And he
Someone
Give
had
him
a
a
tweet. He was like, if
chance.
Baker drives down the field 98 yards with no
I'll get
timeouts,
neutered.
I'll get neutered.
yeah, that dude's got to get neutered.
He's
That
calling his
sucks.
doctor.
He said, on my way to the vet now.
Yeah, a lot of hot takes in that one. Go ahead, T-Gods.
it's Ben Skoranek, for all the reasons Matt just said, except for the specifics. I don't know. I mean, he was targeted like 11 times that game or something crazy. Like
He was eating.
I don't know. Baker was out there slanging that thing. So Ben owned it 10% of leagues. You got Brandon Cooks. You've been relying on him. He's shitty. Start Ben.
Y'all, Sean is a big Ben hater. He clowns me anytime I bring him up.
Hey, I tried to believe in Ben. I've started him multiple times, but he put up like 3 or 2 points. So
Should have started him last week, idiot.
yeah, last week should have known 6 weeks of misery was going to lead to 15 points.
7 times a charm.
Baker's a god.
No, he's not, dude.
Don't tell that to Gator.
Gator, literally after he drove down
buddy.
the field, he texted me. He's like, "I'm getting this jersey," and I was
And
like,
he put it on his-
"I'm like, bro, I'm not."
I'm not Baker. Gator reposts like any Instagram post that has Baker in it. He's the biggest Baker stan.
He was never even good. Like Baker was never good, ever.
He was okay when he carried the
Exactly.
playoffs.
Exactly. He was okay. He
Yeah,
was
he was
never
okay.
good.
He was never good. I wouldn't say Baker's good. He's mid. At
Mid's
best.
still a compliment. He's just okay.
He's below mid.
Yeah, you're right. Kirk
He
Cousins is
doesn't
mid.
touch
Baker's
Kirk
below.
Cousins. If you
Hey,
call
Matt
Kirk
just
Cousins
agreed.
mid,
Kirk mid.
Kirk's so mid. Kirk definition
so
of
at
mid.
least he's better than Baker and Derek Carr.
mid. What an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's not saying much.
All right, Q. Who we got?
Actually, Kirk is better than Kyler Murray this year.
Yep. QB 11 on the season. Eat it, bud.
QB 16, Kyler
Eat it,
Murray.
bud.
Give Kyler a chance to play tonight, bud.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
Don't jump the gun.
Midget.
Still,
I'm about to start
also
being
missed, like,
mean
3
to
games.
players I hate. But my waiver wire pickup is Jawan Jennings. It's kind of gross, but with Devo out, could be out for the remainder of the fantasy playoffs. We'll be behind Brandon Ayuk in the wide receiver group, but Brock Purdy seems to be the truth. Not truth enough to start him in fantasy, but Jawan Jennings could be a nice stash. Wait and see, maybe if you make it past the first round of the playoffs.
I like it.
all right.
I'm going right back to Chig Okonkwo. Sorry, that name's tough for me. But either way,
Okonkwo.
Okonkwo. Tight ends, scarce. Okonkwo seems to be streaking at the right time. 5+ targets in each of the last 3 games, has continued to improve throughout the season and become more of a part of this offense. 58% and 49% of the snaps over the last 2 games. Seems to be building a connection with Tannehill. Titans should be throwing a lot in at least 2 of their last 3 games against the Chargers and the Cowboys. Tough matchups for them. But they're going to throw, so we might see some volume. Sneaky tight end pickup if you're heading into the playoffs and you're dealing with a struggling tight end such as Higbee or Moreau. Lock them in.
Lock them in.
All right. That is it for the waiver targets. So, Q, trivia. Do we have some trivia today?
We do.
All right.
I feel
what
like
do we got?
Michael Jordan flu game. I can barely see straight because my head hurts so bad. But
It's because you're
Right.
cross-eyed.
Let's push through, wrap it up, and get out of here.
all right. So this question 1. I have 2 questions. So, with 14 touchdowns, Jamal Williams is possibly to lead the league in touchdowns despite playing for a team with a losing record. That is still true, right? They're 6-7, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who are the only 2 current players who have done this? As in, they currently so they led the league in touchdowns playing for a losing team. They're currently employed by teams in the same division, which is an NFC division. But they were on different teams when they broke the record. So they're currently playing in the same division, if that helps. An NFC division. I know you guys don't know your divisions, but
I'm looking up my divisions. Sorry.
you can look up the divisions. So one's a running back, one's a wide receiver. The wide receiver did it in 2019. The wide receiver did it in 2015. The running back did it in 2019. So they led the league in touchdowns on a losing record team. Neither of them are on that team anymore.
One running back and
One running back, one wide receiver. The running back did it in 19. The wide receiver did it in 2015.
Wide receiver did it in 2015.
I think I know both. Yep, I know both.
And they currently both play in the same NFC division.
Yep.
But
When they did it, were they in the NFC?
one of them were.
That changes everything.
That changes everything.
Like, should I tell you which position was?
No, you're good.
I got both, baby.
No, you don't.
You did up. Yeah, I do. Play along in chat if you want.
Bro, what?
I'm turning off chat because no one has said any answers, but I don't want to see if anyone does for the next question.
Oh, I got one.
You know what? I'm rocking out with my you know what.
Whoa.
Oh, I think I got it.
You guys got boathy? Like me?
I might.
Probably
No,
do.
no, I don't.
Oh my god, no, I don't have it.
I don't.
Y'all thinking hard.
Wide receiver 2015.
No, yeah.
Matt looking up all the stats right now.
Oh, I got it. I think I got it. I'm confident. I'm
I
really,
hope
really
you got
confident.
Matt looked up wide receiver 2015, most touchdowns.
I didn't, I promise.
You have answers, all of you?
Yeah.
So the running back in 2019 was Christian McCaffrey
Damn it.
for the Panthers,
I'm an
and the
idiot.
wide
Julio.
receiver
Julio.
No.
Allen Robinson with the Jaguars.
No
Fuck,
way.
dude.
I got both wrong.
No.
I swear I did.
I got CMC. CMC was easy. I don't know why I guess stealing. I knew it
I
was
put
wrong.
Leonard Fournette and Mike Evans.
You Bucks lover.
Oh, well, I thought Mike Evans caught a lot of touchdowns with Jameis when Jameis
He said they were on different teams now.
No, he said they were in the different teams that they were. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Shit.
Idiot.
I can't think straight with Q's
All
questions. Fuck. My initial guess was going to be David Johnson, too, but then he said 2019. I was like, that was 2016. And I think they were good.
Next question here. So Cliff Kingsbury was drafted by New England in 2003, a 6th-round pick out of Texas Tech. Tonight he will coach against them. Who are the only other 3 current NFL head coaches who were previously selected in the NFL draft? So 3 current head coaches that were drafted into the NFL.
Okay. I know one off the bat.
What's the? Oh shit.
I don't know if you guys will get the 1, but the 2 are you guys probably know.
Coaches can get drafted. Am I stupid for not knowing
Well,
that?
they were players at one point.
No, drafted as players.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. I was like,
Oh.
what?
Yeah, they were
Sorry.
drafted as players. I
I
know
Are they
one.
head coaches?
Cliff Kingsbury probably was
Are
a
they head
terrible football
coaches?
player. They are all head coaches. 2 in the NFC, 1 in the AFC.
Layup. I got all 3, baby. Just kidding,
I don't-
not a layup,
I got-
but I
got
know I have 2
2.
that are correct.
I got 2. Yeah, I think I have 2. that
Wait,
are
you said
correct.
1 in the AFC?
1 in the AFC.
I can't even fucking think of head coaches.
The 1 I don't know if you
Sure.
guys will get. I will be impressed if you get the 1.
I have 2 that I'm pretty confident in.
1 in the AFC? Really?
Yeah.
I think I
I
have.
don't
the
know if I
AFC.
believe you.
Okay.
I have 2 players that definitely played in the league, 2 coaches that are both in the AFC, but maybe one didn't get drafted. Damn it. Now I got to rethink which one.
You think 1 was undrafted?
They could have been, but I'm 99% sure both of these coaches are former players and in the AFC.
Wait, how many in the AFC?
He
1.
said there's only 1. So I need to find
No,
another
there's
one.
no way.
Yeah, there's 2, right?
There's 2.
Yeah, there's 2.
Well, maybe he was undrafted. We'll
Yeah, he
see
might have
what-
been undrafted is the only thing I could think of, but I don't think he was undrafted.
I'm guessing.
I'm
for
looking
my
right.
last one.
All right, let me think of the other NFC one.
Oh, I know what you're thinking.
Are we wrong?
I don't know. Just keep guessing. I'll look it up real quick.
All right, let me think about the NFC.
All 3 of mine are in the AFC. God damn it.
NFC. Yo, definitely Mike McCarthy.
You're an idiot. I was about to put Andy Reid.
Need 6 points. Do I play Pats or Cards, D?
That's
I don't know. That's tough. They're both.
That's tough.
I think it's gonna be. I lean towards
I
Patriots.
switched
because
one
they've
of my
been better.
answers.
Um,
I'm going 3 for 3 on this.
hold
I
on, I still need to
guarantee.
take one more.
I take Patriots. I take Patriots, D.
No way. No way.
Bro, I don't know.
I'm going through the teams in my head. Maybe this bull. All right, I'll write in this bull.
uh,
All right. I have my 3, and then I have my 1 wild card that I want.
That's
points for.
cheating.
No cheating.
all right. So there is
Well, that's the one that I think was drafted.
I think the one that you think was drafted if we're talking about the same one. But I'll give you the definite answers, and then I'll give you that one afterwards. So the definite answers, the one in the AFC is Mike Vrabel.
Got it.
Got that.
The two in the NFC are Dan Campbell and Ron Rivera.
Wow, I got
Doug
neither.
Peterson?
Well, he's in the AFC, first of all. And that was the one where I said I had to look up.
Yep.
He was drafted.
Yeah, I put Doug Peterson on my list too. That was my
What about
wild.
Jeff
Wait,
Saturday?
Who was
Jeff
the other
Saturday
one
was not
aside from
drafted.
Peterson, Dan Campbell?
Jeff Saturday
and Vrabel?
wasn't drafted?
No,
That's
wild.
crazy.
Dan
He's like a
Campbell and
legend.
Ron
Yeah.
Rivera.
Ron Rivera.
I didn't think
Riverboat Ron played?
Yeah, I had no idea Riverboat Ron played.
That's-
I put
that's
Todd
What did he
Bowles-
play? Kicker.
Uh,
Bench.
Played
Jersey manager.
I don't know what he played.
He was equipment.
He played in Cal.
Was Todd Bowles drafted Q? I'll fight you.
I don't fucking know, Tom.
Where do you get these questions from?
He might have been undrafted, but I don't know.
Todd Bowles was undrafted. For some reason, they have a picture of Rex Ryan as Todd Bowles.
Rex Ryan.
They're
was
also
drafted.
saying the Vikings head coach was drafted.
The
Whatever.
Secret Santa this weekend.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Like,
Was Steve Wilkes drafted? Because that was my other one.
All right, you're just these interim.
He
head
literally
coaches
was a former
look further
player.
than him.
I love how we just all try and prove like Q's questions wrong every
I'm
single
not
day.
trying to, but I put these guys in because they played.
There's no information because they don't really care whether or not he was drafted. Probably an irrelevant NFL player. See, I'm sort of being mean again. I don't want to be mean.
Come on, Q's sick, bro. Let him live.
All right. I did guess former football players. They just weren't drafted. Okay. That is it. Did we have any questions in the chat? We mentioned the defensive one. I would lean towards Pats. Pats are the better defense. They put up
I
big
don't know.
numbers.
Buda
this year.
Baker's going to get 4 pick sixes tonight.
Mac
If he
Jones
does,
is
I'll buy us
bad.
all Buda Baker jerseys.
Oh my
I'm
God,
with
swear
that.
on it.
Swear on it.
4 pick sixes.
4 pick sixes.
2
Let me
pick
get a
sixes.
pinky.
Make it
Let
2
me
and
get
I'm getting
pinky.
jersey.
All right.
Might have to pick up Cardinals D just for that. Okay, that is it for the Week 14 recap. We'll be back Wednesday with our Week 15 preview. Make sure you use our promo code SUPERFB if you're considering Underdog Fantasy. If you're looking to get a jersey from your favorite player or team or looking for that last-minute gift, Fanatics, we are partnered with them. Check out the link in our bio. They are doing sales all the time, sometimes up to 65 or 70% off. So check out Fanatics. Use the link in our bio. Helps us out a ton. Also, we are a part of the Olde City Sports Network. If you did not know, we have a ton of sponsors with them. Check them out, oldcitysports.com, link in our bio. Also, a ton of good podcasts over there. So other than that, hit that follow button on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. If you want to listen to the audio version, we're everywhere, Spotify, Apple, and more. And of course, on all social medias, Super Fantasy Bros Podcast. You can just Google us. You'll find us on Twitter, Instagram, and more. See you guys Wednesday. Peace.